What's up, everybody? Dirty Air back on the GMT build. This is part 3. So it's pretty early in the morning. It's humid, so I'm all sweaty already. But anyways, I forgot to film last Sunday all the shenanigans of getting the cab onto the Toyota, but I did go make a purchase. Let's check it out. I bought this sweet gantry for $200. Not really. It's really not that cool. I'm pretty sure it's made out of like old poop pipe way up there. And the cool part, yep, seamed together. At least it's under that joint. I mean, it would have been dumb to put it right there. But the best part about it is over here has some good old twine on it. Pretty sure is like a, hey, don't use this. This is super sketchy. So, and the footing of it isn't very big either. But hey, it works. We got able to get the cab back off because I took 5 people to get this cab on. But yeah, so that's where we're at, and that's the start of our day. This morning I'm going to do some cleanup on a few things like this. Get this more flat. Get this more flat. Cut these down. So that way I can prep and prime all this area. And then on the inside, we're going to prep and prime all of the rocker in that area, because I don't know where it's going to sit just yet. So I'd rather just, I got it off. I'm going to clean everything. I'm going to weld these 2 plates because that's, I believe it's a stud. And there's nothing holding it. So if I ever have to undo the dash, SOL, that's clearly a bolt. So I'm going to get this prepped, the hammered and dollied, flusher, flatter. And then I'm going to cut a couple chunks of metal from here to the floor to support the cowl area so I can get rid of all that crap. So let's get started.
guys I worked with at the prison, he had a trailer made out of an old car frame, truck frame. He called me one day because he had a flat tire and he couldn't get the lug nuts off. So when I showed up, it was a Dodge, so I had to explain to him it was backwards threads. He was like, why would they do that? Like, well, back then the thought was... No. Alright, I did save that other bolt I pulled out. I laid it over here, right there. But there was no nut on that.
Not surprised.
What are you doing, baby girl? Did you come to say hi to us again? Did you? You came to grace us with your presence? That was nice of you. Gosh. I'll give you a hand because you don't need to anymore. You've done it all. Are you wanting to cut this even with the firewall, or as even as we can get it?
Yeah.
Like to this side of the seam?
So here's going to be tricky because keep this pinch weld. So maybe take the little saw and just that way.
And then come
and
up.
then cut down the seam, and then same
here up this seam.
Yeah.
Because we want to keep that pinch, but then we also got to watch the wires.
Yeah. So if all right, so I'm getting pooped, but got a lot done. GoPro sitting in the sun, overheated, and had to get a minute. So this is what we got to as of 1 o'clock. Stripped down, got that stripped down. We are very, very close. Cut more of the firewall out. Had to cut the springs, supports, that hold up the hood. Had to cut those out because they're hitting the cowl. And as of right now, right there is the factory dash. So we gotta go back a little bit, not a lot, maybe about 1/4 inch, 3/4 inch. And what I have decided to do is I'm going to run a line down through the rocker and just ever so little bit cut the rocker so I can get it to sit down, because I think what I'm going to have to do is it's going to have to come up underneath here, and I'm going to leave all this structure in here. Well, I guess, I don't know if you call it structure, but that was structure. I'm going to leave the outer. I'm going to bend it under for now till I get the cab down where I want. Then I'll push this back forward and I'll drill throughout it, and I'll plug weld this to the inner rocker. And then I'll make my cuts for the rear floor, and then once I cut the rear floor, I'll cut this cab corner, not cab corner, cab support off, and I'll cut it off the body, and I'll drill the spot welds on the bottom side, move this up here somewhere. So that, and then can't see in there because because it's all covered by the dash. So yeah, that's where we're at for right now. It's getting pretty close, but as you can see right here, there's a couple inches of overlay. So I gotta square it up. Gonna square up the cab, make my measurements, not measurements, my lines to cut the rockers, and then we can see if we can get this sucker down some more, because we got to come down. I cannot have this being this high. This got to come down. So I'm thinking we need about a foot down, because I'm gonna have to cut out the vent. I'll cut all that out probably and just put the top piece back on. Wipers, I don't know what I'm gonna do about that just yet. Maybe we'll just use Rain-X, who knows. So let's get to work. Found the grinder. Dang it. All right, so you can see that's where we're at right there. But the cab still, see that gap? So cab still needs to come this way. All right, back at it, day 2. It's pretty early. You know when your wife knows that you got a lot going on, trying to get stuff ready for a car show crunch. Let's see. She decides to help and go mow the lawn that ain't been mowed in 2 weeks because it's been raining so much. So yeah, with that being said, let's get to work. Just slid right in there. All right, this is where we're gonna end the video. Did not get as much done as I was hoping. Got a lot done, not enough done. Wasn't able to get the cab set where we needed it to. It still needs to come down a couple inches. I'm gonna have to do some cutting that I wasn't anticipating, but should have just done to begin with. So I'll show you that. So right there, what I'm gonna have to do is cut a section out here, all the way down to here, and all the way back, cut this section out. There is structure under here, right where this pinch weld is. Gonna have to cut that because it's just not allowing it to go down enough because of where this indents. I didn't film a lot of cutting in and out, cab going up, going down, all that kind of stuff. And as you can see, both doors stick out a little bit, and we're not quite okay. Well, it moved since the last time I looked, so it's below the pinch weld. So the lower pinch weld on the Tacoma I left on runs along here. That's why we got a gap back here. And then to get the fenders on, we got to do some little bit of, I got to pie cut this here, get that to fit. But all in all, we're pretty close. I'm going to trim a little bit right there on both sides, and right there, that's going to have to get cut out at some point to get it set down. I don't know if you can see, can't see on that side. Transmission hump is going to have to get cut in the floor of the GMC, and then down here we're still about an inch away from sitting on the rockers of the Tacoma. And I sat in it, I put the seat in. As you can see, the headrest is about to the bottom of the windshield, and that's just not good enough. We got to get the cab down lower, but all in all, looks pretty good. But I mean, you know, any old 50s Chevy looks good. So, but that's about where we're gonna call it. I do not think I'm gonna get this done for the local car show. I did what? By done, I mean I wasn't gonna get it done. I was hoping to get the cab, the inner fender wells cut down. You can see how much of the core support I had to cut. And these right here are the mounts for the factory radiator. What I think I'm going to be able to do is attach them to here and down in there. So I left that right there is the factory Tacoma lower core support. So here's the core support. This is a factory GMC part. This is for the grill. You can see the big old gap. The radiator, sorry, the grill, the fender, they all bolt together with the inner fender wells. So those are going to be another hurdle. Got a really big gap right there. This is the factory inner bumper. This is going to have to get trimmed back. I'm not going to unbolt it because this is what supports the skid plate. So we're going to trim these back to where the grill will come down with the cab, and then we'll figure out the inner fender wells at a later date. But there's not going to be a whole lot left of them because from here to here is not much. But our radiator fitment is good. The AC condenser bolt, half of it bolts to this, and then it sits on that structure from the Tacoma, the core support. So that will be done. And yeah, we'll see if we can get this sucker down a couple more inches. All in all, it looks pretty good. But it, like I say, still needs to come down a couple inches. So as always, thanks for checking us out. Y'all have a great day.